Some fascinating insight into Saddam Hussein's final days, including shocking details of his interrogation in which he admitted that he was bluffing about having weapons of mass destruction. CNN's Brian Todd joins us live from Washington. All right, this is amazing. What's the source of this new information, Brian?
It's a source you might recognize, Nicole. While he was in custody, in U.S. custody, Saddam Hussein spent a lot of time with a 36-year-old FBI interrogator named George Pirro. What he reportedly told the young FBI agent throws more cold water on the justification for war.
War over weapons of mass destruction. But the man who allegedly had those weapons told his interrogator it was mostly smoke and mirrors. For his new book, The Terrorist Watch, author Ron Kessler interviewed FBI Special Agent George Pirro, who questioned Saddam Hussein every day, at least 5 hours a day, for 7 months. The former dictator's startling revelation.
Saddam eventually admitted in the interviews that he was bluffing about WMD. He was afraid of Iran. He wanted them to think that he had WMD. And what better way than if America thought that he had WMD? At the same time, Saddam admitted that he did plan to resume his WMD program, which he thought he could do within about a year when he thought sanctions would be lifted.
Pirro, a seasoned interrogator, told Kessler he believed Saddam because of his body language. According to Kessler, Saddam told Pirro he'd stayed one step ahead of U.S. forces on the night of the invasion.
Saddam also told George that, in fact, he was at the two locations that the U.S. bombed. Saddam said he was there, but he had left by the time the bombs actually fell.
Pirro told Kessler Saddam was a neat freak who would wash his hands compulsively if he ever shook yours. The former Iraqi president also flirted with an American nurse while in custody, writes Kessler, and had plenty of romantic advice for his young FBI handler.
Saddam said, you know, Arab women are better at a certain age because they'll be loyal to you, and American women are too independent.
The FBI would not let us interview George Pirro or obtain a picture of him because of his sensitive assignments. The agent told Kessler when it was time to part ways, he smoked Cuban cigars with Saddam Hussein. Then
they hugged each other in the traditional Arabic way, which made George rather uncomfortable. But then Saddam definitely was shaken and teared up.
Told Kessler that he found Saddam Hussein likable with a good sense of humor, but he said he never forgot what an evil man Saddam was, and he did say that he felt that Saddam's conviction and execution were fair sentences. Nicole?
Washing hands, Cuban cigars, any other goodies you get from him?
Well, he kind of extrapolated some interesting thoughts about Saddam's sons. Kessler writes that Saddam told George Pirro that he did not trust his younger son, Qusay, who he'd groomed to be a successor. Even so, Saddam said he didn't trust him. When Pirro pressed Saddam Hussein on his sons, Kessler writes, Saddam said, quote, this is a quote from Saddam, "Look, leave me alone. You don't get to pick your kids. You're stuck with what you're given. This is what I had." Some pretty interesting and fascinating insight into Saddam's sons, who he was frustrated with on occasion.
Uday and Qusay. All right. Very fascinating. All right.